There's a saying in my family that goes, typical Vikings. My dad, growing up, he was the one that kind of coined this phrase, especially when the Vikings, it's one thing when they lose. The Vikings will obviously lose in dramatic fashion a lot of times, especially, obviously, what was it, week 2 against the Eagles, and then last night against the Dallas Cowboys. Like typical Vikings, they will always lose in typical fashion. They'll beat the teams that they shouldn't beat, or they'll lose miserably in the process. And it's just, I don't think anybody really capped it off better than Chris Boyd. Yep. I mean, the guy that we've all known to grow and love. It's just, wow. And then you go back over to this, and it's just, I'm at a loss. When Kirk Cousins barely gets over 100 yards passing on 23 attempts, Nick Mullins it was so bad Nick Mullins had to come in. They took the game off Fox. And then you got Dalvin Cook, who has 11 carries, 72 yards. Actually was able to run the ball effectively in some cases, but just there are absolutely no good things that came out of this. Like there is no silver lining. I know that there's a lot of sayings that, okay, well, at least the team was able to do this. But it's just cut and dry. The Minnesota Vikings fooled us all. When you think about this team making all the different strides that they did to be able to come back and win 7 straight after that humiliating loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in week 2, And man, this team just never fails to put you in a spot where you're hopeful, you're delusional, and then at the end of the day, you get put back down to where you deserve. Now, do I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl? I'm sorry, I don't know. I would say no at this point because I really feel like the Philadelphia Eagles, they really are finding ways to win games. They found that way to win the game yesterday, fresh off the loss against the Commanders. I think the Eagles are just too stacked at this point, but I'm not saying that they don't have a shot. The Dallas Cowboys clearly are a very talented team, and they just shellacked the Vikings. They deserve all of the respect. But, I mean, the Minnesota Vikings they fooled us all. Like, there's no way around it. We had all the hope. We were looking forward to it, and it just, to have a result like that, and that's the thing. I've been a part of losses where you look back in the mirror and you're like, wow, like, do I want to play football? We lost this one time in high school where I think it was like 38-0 at halftime, and then we got beat 54-6 or something. And our coaches asked us, do you want to play football? That is the question that some of these guys have to ask themselves after a game like that. And they've got a short week to go out and play the Patriots. And it's just, there needs to be a serious reckoning. There needs to be a serious gut check now for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think this team is ready to compete. I think that they got a little something special going, but I think that they fooled us all. And honestly, it sucks with being a fan and watching this team continually do this to you. You see it with the Las Vegas Raiders to a point. You see Derek Carr out there. You love him. You think that he can lead your team, and then he has games where it just, like the Saints game earlier this year. Then you have the Minnesota Vikings that have this game. I guess they just can't beat the NFC East at all. I mean, obviously, other than the Commanders, who, by the way, are looking more and more scary every single day. And I think that if there was a rematch, the Vikings, I don't think they could beat them. But I know a lot of this is overreaction, or at least it's more pain than anything. But overall, I mean, the Minnesota Vikings might be the biggest frauds this year. I don't care what anybody says. You've got that kind of a team. You've got that kind of, hope behind the fan base and everything. And then you come out like that. It's one thing to lose a game, but to come out completely flat, not wanting to play, everybody needs to go back to the drawing board. Everybody absolutely needs to go back to the drawing board. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover. But let us know what you guys think about the Minnesota Vikings that fooled us all.